Yeah, you have to watch out because I tell you what, YouTube, man, they don't want anything on their stuff anymore. They watching like hawks over there. All right, Ruff, get your tell your people that you are live and in person. Dun dun dun.
Doing that now. Trying to tap it a bit softer because I got told off by Tony.
Wow.
I can still hear it.
I know.
No, my other keyboard's really bad. The one I have.
It's very clicky anyway, this one.
Yeah.
Oh, live. Let me just get.
So I got a list of like 12 things to cover today, boys.
We'll try to keep on task. Yeah, so after I got done with the Hunters, I went and did another about 30 minutes of Liberty or Death that I'm uploading now. I didn't live stream that.
I was gonna say I don't remember.
No, I didn't live stream that. That was what I was uploading, and it should have been uploaded, but my computer shut down. I gotta tell my laptop to not shut down when it's plugged in, so that way when my videos go up, when I upload my videos, it just doesn't shut down. So
yeah, that's half the battle, right?
Yeah,
and trying to get things uploaded to YouTube and have them flag it like they did me, bastards. All that work, I'm like, what am I gonna do?
Well, indeed.
What am I going to do? No, we'll give everyone a few minutes to see if they join in.
Yeah. So, no, it was after watching Ruff, it got me wanting to play, and then I started playing, and like that game is so easy to just, let's do another one. And because some of them were very short. I had one or two. I had one patrol that only had two encounters through the whole patrol, so that one went real quick. So I was like, oh, let's do another one, and I just got rolling, and I was like, okay.
I know, I was in the middle of a live stream, and like he showed up, and it was like, oh, I already did 3 patrols today. I'm like, you did 3 more videos? Like,
no, just one video.
Yeah,
just one video, but and Ruff joined in for that one, so that part of that at least. So, but yeah, I was like, I don't know, I'm gonna keep going, and then I'm like, so my wife and daughter are at Cedar Point today and tomorrow, and ID, you know what that is?
Oh yeah,
it's like 44 degrees out there right now. So it's my daughter's friend's birthday party that they're there for. So I took the boys over to get their flu shot, and then I'm like, yeah, 10:30. I'm going to start up my live stream and try to get some more patrols done. And I guess I was too cocky because the dice gods, corrected that.
Thank goodness you stopped. It gives me a chance to catch up.
Yeah, well, now you guys have a number to go for.
Yeah.
So
the thing is, though, I'm not sure how well it went, because when I was streaming, it looked like I was claymation, like stop and...
Don't pay attention to that, because
no, when I looked at it on my channel, it's all very jerky.
I'll have to.
Not sure if it's my phone or the internet, but when we're doing these, it's fine, isn't it?
Yeah, and when you were sending it out live, it was fine.
Yeah, I don't remember anything. I didn't go back and watch it afterwards, but
I think if you watch it now, you'll see the jerk that I was seeing.
So what we're talking about here,
shut up, you know what I mean? Sorry.
If you're just joining us, what we're talking about is Ruff decided to get his first live stream under his belt. What do you think, Ruff?
It was traumatic, stressful, but I tell you what, it was great that, you guys, I noticed Tony was there. Yeah, Tony and yourself were there, and a few of the other friends and that, from the channel. And that was great. Everybody sort of encouraging me. The Steeler fan was there. I said, make sure you got your rule book. He said, I've got my rule book, Ruff. So, yeah, that was great. It was fun, but I was sweating buckets. It was very stressful. When you're videoing, you can go, oh, I've made a mistake there, or I have a break now, my back's hurting. So, you can't do that live, but I did enjoy it. But if you can put up with the jerky jerk stuff, then I'll carry on with it.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and watch your video and see if it's what's going on with the
what causes that. So
the herky jerky. It was fine when you were live streaming. So
yeah, oh, that's good. Well, that's the main thing then, isn't it? That's the main thing.
I mean, it was once in a while it had a little glitch, but you could tell we could tell you were frazzled. You were frazzled.
Yeah, I was. I didn't have the safety net of let's have a sit down and a cup of coffee. I couldn't do that. Let's gather me thoughts. But now I've done it. Now I know what to do. I'm going to take it slower and make sure everything's tickety boo. So yeah, it's a learning experience for me as well. Live streaming. That was my actual very, very first one. So when I got through it, we didn't get destroyed, and I think I sunk about 29,000 tons.
Yeah, you had a good a good first patrol. Mine was slow and steady. I think 38 was the most, and that was that last patrol where I sunk 6 out of 7 ships.
What did you get for your first patrol? I'm only
18,100.
Right, and you Jester? It's only because I've been asked. How did I do compared to you two?
I got 28,800.
So, right, okay, just make it all right.
And I thought that was a lot. So, I mean,
yeah.
if you got more than me, then
29,000, I think it was. And you got, sorry, what did you get, Tony?
18-1.
18-1. I know it doesn't mean anything now because you've gone way ahead. And sorry,
well, what's funny is that Tuesday night, I was like going crazy, and I ended up twisting my knee celebrating. Couldn't see that, but like I am very animated when I play, and so I ended up like I was like, yeah, and then all of a sudden I landed on my knee wrong. I'm like, I'm getting injured playing war games,
I haven't got this like you two guys have got, the very sort of sophisticated setup with the overhead cam and all that. I have to stand up to do it. So and sort of work around the camera, which is there. So it's a bit awkward.
I stand up too.
Yeah. But I'm glad I had my beeper because there's a few times I needed it.
I didn't stand up. I just used my little desk here with my little chair.
I actually prefer standing when I play. Actually,
I have to do it when I video anyway because of the way I work. But yeah,
it's if I don't stand, I have a stool, like a taller stool that I can just kind of lean against. It's just I like to be able to see a little bit better over the maps a lot of times, which is one reason why I don't like that's one of my downsides of Vassal.
Yeah.
Is I just can't. If you zoom out too far, you can't see the detail, but when you zoom in, you can't see everything. So that's one of my quibbles with playing on Vassal. But you do what you got to do to play sometimes.
Yeah. Regardless of health and back injuries. But there you go. I'm glad
let me ask you guys a question.
I'm glad I had that.
Huh?
That came in handy for when I have to swear at the dice.
Let me ask you guys a question because we've now started this co-op challenge. If you were not playing in this challenge and you were just doing it solo and everything, would you be as stressed out as worried about what would happen? No. I'm
more worried about doing it wrong and making people who've come to watch me go, oh, blimey, they didn't know how to play the game. I mean, if I video, I don't get stressed because if I make a mistake, I can, when I review it, I go, oh, it's a mistake there. I'll just put something on the video. I should have done that. And that tells people I saw the mistake. And if it's a break in the videoing, I can rectify it in the next segment. But live, that's it. One chance. And that was my only worry. It's daft, I know, because everybody who plays these games, they, in my experience, are great people and very forgiving. And I shouldn't have been.
Not only that, but you have that pressure now.
Yeah,
huge pressure. The weight of the world is on your shoulders.
I did feel like that sometimes, but next time I think it'll be easier.
I'll tell you, Tony, you've jumped in both feet, man.
Yeah, he did good.
He got one on his belt, and he was like high as a kite. He couldn't wait to get back into it, could you?
No, I enjoyed it. The competition is fun just because it's fun to play against you guys, and this is a way for us to do that. because trying to schedule time for, I mean, it's hard enough sometimes just to schedule this, let alone some playtime actually. So this was just a neat way to have a little friendly competition, and it's just, I just had so much fun playing. I wanted to get back again and again and again, but I wanted to give you guys some times. Like, I did my first one and I so wanted to go, okay, I want to do my second one, but I wanted Rough to at least get one more in, get one in before, but I think I ended up getting two in before you got, but it was like, I was like, it was just fun. And I love the interaction with the viewers. Yeah, it's so much fun. Steeler fan was on this morning watching me go sink down below, dropping the Davy Jones locker.
Just we finished it, and so I watched it when it was,
yeah, it was. I was like, well, that was short.
Well, but this is the good thing about these challenges is we can do them at our own pace.
Did you notice, Tony, that I was there for you? I was there to help you out and remind you to add that +2.
Yeah.
There for you.
Yeah, he added the +2, which gave me a 14. I was like, shit. I was
wrong way.
Don't forget the +2, Tony. I was there for you.
I was like, I was like, really? I was like so excited I had an hour and a half before the Buckeyes started playing. I figured I'd get 2 more patrols in, which is what I figured I'd have left. And 20 minutes into me videoing, I roll a freaking 12 on an air attack.
There you go. Finished.
And it ended up being a 14, and then sunk.
Well, just while there's a gap, we've got a few people watching. If you're here, just come and say hi so we know you're here.
So let's have our dedication video to Tony.
I hope you do one for me.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my mic off because I want the sound to come on, but I'm afraid my mic will pick it up.
An echo,
so I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to turn my mic off for a minute.
Hi, Douglas.
There's no sound, by the way.
Yeah, no sound. Yeah. He's got too much time on his hands. I think that's what it is. Yeah, Douglas, we're just going over the challenge because Tony's actually finished it. And Jester's done a tribute. But no sound.
But there's no sound. I think he's trying to figure it out.
Yeah, he's got that thoughtful look on his face. Look.
I wonder if, because tell me if you hear sound if I have my mic on. Oh, I keep doing it on the screen over there.
No.
I can hear a little bit.
It's something in the background. Is that?
Let's.
Ah. Sound's cutting out.
Oh, that was good, Jester.
That was good. That was great.
Yeah, Heathwell. I finished my. I went out 6 patrols, and I got sunk on the 6th one. So that's what happened. I ended up with over 112,000 tonnage sunk. So these boys have a goal, a number to hit now.
We got a number posted on the board.
And hi, Deck, is it from greetings from Ireland? Yeah, greetings from England and the USA.
Wow, look at that. Ireland. We're worldwide here. Worldwide.
International.
So now the cat's on the bag. We know. Tony, tell us. What was it like? What happened?
Well, I went off onto a nice patrol in the North American waters, and I was traveling. I was in my transit, and all of a sudden, I got spotted by an airplane. I tried to sink. I tried to dive, and I didn't quite get far enough down, and they spotted me. And I rolled on my table, and instant. I think the depth charge or the bomb hit me straight off. There wasn't much. There wasn't much we can do.
It's amazing when you go back, and I've been spending a lot of the time this week reviewing and looking at videos and looking at what happened to different U-boats and everything. It's amazing how many times these U-boats got blown up by planes. These planes are brutal.
Yeah, I believe it too, because it's not like the planes, since they're high up in the air, even though the ships sink down, they can still spot them even if they're, several feet, feet deep in the water. So they can come back and hit them a lot faster than like a boat can turn around and get it. So yeah, I believe that the planes were more effective on U-boats than a lot of the destroyers were.
Right on.
Yeah, right.
We may be sort of.
I told him he was choosing his patrol because his captain got the award to let him do that.
Yeah, you got the award as well.
Actually, you guys
do the Atlantic, man. It's going to be bad news, man. I've seen too many U-boats go down in the Atlantic.
You guys can choose as well. You just have to roll the dice before.
It's
that was
one for me. Yeah, it's one.
Yep. And I had a 1 to 2. Yep.
Yeah.
So
because of the award.
We've
no, your rank. Your rank.
Oh, it's a rank.
Yeah, if you look at it, you can if you roll a 1, it's your rank. You can choose your where you want to go. So, and honestly, I was looking at it. I probably should have gone to the British Isles because it was just as lucrative. It looked like less escorts, more single ships. I should have gone there, but hey, you make your mistake, you live with it, or in this case, you get sunk.
You don't live with it. That's the problem.
Not in this case. But,
you wanted the sunshine, didn't you? That's what you wanted.
Yeah, I wanted the warm weather.
That's how I got sunk when I did my playthrough on the channel. We went to the Spanish coast, lovely and warm. So we took the boys to the Spanish coast, and we got sunk. So there we go. But now at least you've given us something to aim at.
And I'll think that's the highest total I've ever had.
Yeah,
looking through mine, I had a lot of 70s and 80s and a couple of zeros. Like sunk on the first, like can't get out of the first box type patrols. So,
and luckily I had a couple of 10,000 tons, so that zooped me up a bit. So,
yeah. So,
and while we're talking about submarines, I just want to say, well done, Jester, on that docu thing you did. Was fantastic. It was really moving.
Laconia incident.
Yeah, yeah. And I would recommend anybody who's not seen it, who's listening in, go and check out IDJESTER's channel. And it's about half an hour, but it's fascinating and it's moving. Isn't it, Tony? It's really good.
Oh, I loved it. As a history teacher and a historian myself, he did a really good job, especially of not going against the bias that there's always.
Telling it like it was.
Yeah, you told both sides of the story fairly and equally. And unfortunately, after World War II, there was this whole the Allies could do no wrong, and that's far from the truth. Now, they weren't even close to being as bad as the Russians or the Germans and what they did. But the Americans and the Brits still did some stuff that was not good at all. Like
they should be proud of.
Yeah.
So well done.
When you win the war, what do they say? History's written by
the heroes, aren't you? Yeah.
History's rewritten by the winners, right?
Yep. So it takes several years to separate until we can finally look at it with objective eyes. So I mean, we're still looking at the Vietnam War with still a kind of a shaded lens. So
you're going to have no time at all because I think Tony wants to do this again when we've done this with another game. So you'll be busy again.
I would love to do that because it was so much fun. But I mean, you guys got to finish yours. But eventually, I would like to do it again if we could with
another game.
Yeah. Because it's just so much fun. Like I like playing the games anyways, but it's just so much fun to have somebody to kind of go against, especially the solitaire games. It's fun to play them. It's fun to get your butt beat by them, but it's also fun.
You've got somebody to take the mickey out of them, yeah.
Yeah, even if you did badly, maybe you didn't do just as bad. Maybe somebody did just a little bit, but yeah.
I think it's just weird that I just happened to choose that one stuff. And out of the blue, you saw on the list there was like 30 subs.
Yep.
And I don't know for whatever reason I clicked on that one. And like I said, when I did the live playthrough in the beginning, it was just I kind of glossed over because I didn't know anything about it. But then after the live stream, I was like, oh, I wonder what this is. Maybe I can introduce, next time I run a patrol, I can talk about this or whatever. And then I came across that Laconia incident, and it was like, wow, really? And that really made me think about stuff. And it was a lot of different. There's some websites you can go to that have a little bit of information, but you really have to try to find it. And I'm like, how come it's so hard to find this?
Well, now we know, don't we?
How come it's not talked about? I mean, they talk about Titanic, they talk about Lusitania, and they talk about all these other ones, but they don't ever mention this one.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't they mention this one? And that was my first question: was why are they not talking about this?
Well, I've got that series you mentioned. The BBC made a 2-part series. I've got to source that out and try and find it because it's got one of my favourite actors in it, Brian Cox. Who was
I actually came across it on YouTube. I don't know if it's the whole thing. I think
probably a 2-part the BBC done television. So I'll suss that out.
And I did watch, and I thought it sounded familiar because I watched River Monsters. I watched that episode, and they actually introduced a 6-gill shark, and that was what had ate a lot of the survivors that were there. But they didn't go into much about the history of what it was or why the ship sank, just that it was sinking like.
Oh, I think he locked up.
He's gone.
Like a U-boat. Oh my God.
No, you're back.
You're back now.
Back.
Okay. Anyways, am I good?
Yeah, you should be good. Yeah.
Okay. Everything went blank on my screen. I started getting the little circle, but anyways, they didn't talk about the boat, exactly the whole story behind it. But I was interested that, so I was like, this sounds familiar, what you were talking about. And then when you're like, oh, there's a river mount, I'm like, oh, that's why I recognize it. So, yeah,
that was cool.
It was really fun to kind of research and find out about it and look into it because it was like something I'd never heard of. And I thought, I bet you I was actually going to wait till this week and kind of bring it up and see if anybody had thought about it, but I'm like, well, maybe I'll just create like a little video and just talk about it and see what people have to say, and then maybe we can talk about it on Saturday or whatever. But I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I was
good. Yeah.
I mean, it's not really fancy. It was my first attempt at doing something like that. So I thought, it would be a good try to do.
I could tell you put a lot of work into it, a lot of research, a lot of work. You've written out your script. It was great. It was good.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, it's good.
It was really kind of emotional because I felt this connection because of my shift, right? I have this connection to what's going on.
But it's a horrible story anyway.
Right.
Have your U-boat associated with it that you picked out of thin air.
Right.
It's quite weird.
Right.
Quite tricky.
So, anyways, yeah, I think it was. Although I do have a down whatever it's called, down thumbs or whatever on it. Yeah, somebody put a down thumb on it.
Jealousy is an evil beast sometimes,
I guess they don't like what I did or what I said or whatever.
Yeah,
if I had more time to spruce it up, make it a little bit better, I think that might.
No. I think it's somebody's gone. Well, this isn't a war game. Down thumb.
Or it's not a sports game, or it's not a game.
It's not a game. Yeah, it could be something like that. Yeah,
could be.
But I've got a couple of down thumbs on my videos, and when you get one, you go, "Oh, what have I done?" But doing a bit of research, it doesn't matter at all. What it does is, if you get hundreds of them, it will then click that guy, the person who did the down thumb, won't get your videos as often as they used to, notified. That's all it really means. So I wouldn't worry too much about it.
So what I want to know is what Tony has on Dan that Dan can.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean he's got to have some inside information on him, or has nude photos of him or something. I don't know what it is, but it's like every time now, number one. I don't know why. I'm
2 weeks.
I got bumped down to the next group even.
You were last.
Yeah, I was in the next group. He started another group. I don't think he realized that I was actually in the next group. I was first in the next group.
Yeah, I know my place. You see, I'm sort of at the bottom end of it, and I'm quite happy. Happy.
You were pretty high this time. I think you were third or fourth. I mean,
was I?
Tony, man, it's
must have upset him.
Let's talk about what the week was, and let's look at Tony's board life and see what he did.
Yeah.
Holy cow! I want to know why. What did we do to piss him off? Ruff.
All I did was become a Patreon of his, and I think he deserves it because of all the effort he puts.
Right, if I had the money, I would be a patron to him as well. You've got a lot of work into it. That's why money talks. See, money talks.
Yeah, you remember when I was first, he mentioned that I paid him $1,000.
Yeah,
so
but that was 2 weeks ago. He must have just had it. Yeah, whatever it was. But he must have just had a list. Okay, I'm going to start here and then just go from there. And so.
And he's picked the same list again. So
he's demoting me. But you guys know what's coming up on his channel, right?
Yes. Yep. Tomorrow
night. He's got the Charles S. Roberts Awards on his channel. I think it's tonight.
Yeah, tomorrow. I think.
Is it tomorrow?
I think it's Sunday at 4 your time.
No, it's 7 Eastern.
It's late.
Oh yeah, so that's right. That makes it midnight for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Dan sent me a message because I was.
Give it a shout out.
What I wanted to do was interrupt his show, so I sent him a message asking him, and he said the CSR is at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's today or tomorrow. He didn't mention.
But then, you know what I'm like.
I think it's.
Would it be tonight? Anyway, it's midnight for me, so 7 o'clock for you.
No, 1 o'clock your time. You're 5 hours behind.
5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
It's 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Oh, 8 o'clock. Yeah, 1 o'clock. Yeah, 1 a.m. Yeah, because when he said it, I went, oh.
So yeah, I think so make sure you turn in. And even though he's not happy with me for some reason, I don't know what I did, but we'll still talk
Sunday,
about it.
Sunday,
Yeah.
October 25th.
There you
Okay,
go.
so tomorrow at 8 o'clock, go to No Enemies Here, and he's going to have the War Game awards for the year, and I think we're up for a nomination for best War Game show of the year. I think.
What, better put a suit on then.
A suit and a tie.
Have you written your speech?
I have written part of a speech. Yes.
Oh, have you written a? We've got to write an acceptance speech.
Well, I was going to get with you about that because I know it's a little late for you. It's past your bedtime, so I wanted to know if I should, if you wanted to say something in honor of you as well. So
yeah, you could do it in my absence. In absence show, isn't it? Absence show. You should do it when I'm not there.
yeah, they might need our addresses to send our big trophies and stuff.
Oh crikey! Are they going to get them over here? It's going to cost them a bomb.
I mean.
We'd have to share it, sort of like 3 months each or 4 months.
Well, I know
each.
where my Patreon money's going towards.
Yeah, that's where it's going. It's going into our award, which is fine. That's fine with me. I mean, a big old plaque. You can hang that up on the wall. Ruff, you got a nice spot over there next to your bookcase there. You can just hang it on your wall there.
Yes. There's a couple of boxes sticking on my guitar for some reason. I don't know why that is, but anyway, yeah. Yes.
You just have to move that stuff out of the way and you'll be ready to go, right?
Ready to rock and roll. Yeah.
So when we win the award tomorrow, we don't have much competition. I mean, Dan's not much competition against us, and Knock and Load, their weekly show is not much competition. I can't think of who would be
I'm at a loss.
Game show of the year besides us.
I'm at a loss. I can't. No, I just. I'll get my tissues ready because I'm bound to have a blabber when we get announced. And I've got to thank everyone, haven't I? Oh dear. Excited.
It'll be fun. Get your suits ready, boys. Press those shirts. Get the ties on. Should be a good time. Should be a good time. Well, yeah, I didn't want to interrupt. I didn't want to interrupt that with our live stream. You know what?
What?
You're not going to be in.
I'm not going to be here to accept the award. Tony, it'll be up to you.
You have to do it. You have to fly out there.
I'll have to take it. I'll have to take it.
I will. Yeah. So this is a good time to mention it just for everyone. I will be gone starting tomorrow until next Friday or Saturday. We're not sure when we're coming back yet. So we will have the War Room next week. Maybe Saturday, maybe Sunday. It depends on when we decide to come back. I'm thinking we're coming back Friday night. So we should be good Saturday, but stay tuned.
You're being very optimistic. The missus might not be able to stand you for a week, and you'll be coming home Tuesday morning.
Huh?
She might not be able to put up with you for a week.
Well, that's
You'll
true.
be back Tuesday.
That's true. She might. She might say on Wednesday, okay, it's time to go home.
Yeah, you've had enough. No, good. Have a good time.
That's a good possibility. But yeah, so I won't be putting videos up this week. I won't be able to catch up on our U-boat challenge or anything like that.
Can have a week off, resting his back, recovering. That'd be good.
So what I need you guys to do, your homework assignment for this week is when something comes up, you need to scribble it down so we talk about it next week, because I won't be able to keep up on everything. Because we're going to be out in the middle of nowhere, so I don't think there's even like Wi-Fi or anything. So it's not like we're going to another town. We're going out in the middle of nowhere.
What, log cabin type thing, is it? Or
Yeah. Actually, it is. It's a log cabin out in the middle of nowhere. So
those are nice trips, though, to disconnect sometimes.
yeah, and it's up in the mountains too, and you know how the mountains over. Yeah.
I love North Carolina. Where at? You said North Carolina.
It's just some. I will tell you,
Asheville is where I like to go in North Carolina.
It's like an hour southeast of Asheville.
Okay.
It's in the
Beautiful country.
Piqua. It's in the Piqua National Forest.
Oh, good. Beautiful country there. Beautiful.
Pisgah, Piqua National Forest. So the closest like town is oops, that's not what I wanted. Give me the town. Jeez. No, I'm not going to waste time on it. It's like an hour southwest. It's in the Piqua National Forest. So we'll be doing that for a while.
Lovely.
It did say Thursday it was supposed to be mostly rainy. So that might make your trip a little bit shorter. But so plan on it. So when you're come across something this week, get your little pen out, write something down because I won't be able to.
I do want to throw out a channel real quick that I've been watching for a long time, and I don't know if everybody knows about it, but it's a war game channel called Almost Solitaire.
Yes, but he does a lot of Command and Color stuff, doesn't he?
He does, but he throws the history in it before he starts it.
No, he's good. He's good.
What's
He's
it?
good.
Almost what?
Almost Solitaire. Yes, he did. Yeah.
Ask for a shout out as well.
But I've really enjoyed his stuff, and
do you know what? He was the guy I watched that made me want to get Men of Iron.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he did a few years old, but I thought yes.
Yeah, so he started out with his own method because he's done World War I, and now he does Ancients, and he's like going through all of the scenarios of the Ancients, which I think there's like hundreds, if not thousands.
Channel. It says this channel doesn't have any content.
No, click on the video.
Oh, you got to click on videos. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Why doesn't he have?
It's because he set it the way
That's the way he's got it set up. Yeah.
Okay.
He's starting to add some titles though, so like he might be getting a little bit more.
Subscribe. So there you go.
Yeah.
But I found his channel very fun to watch. He does a good. He's like, I'm not going to spend 20 minutes talking about the history, and then he spends 20 minutes talking about the history. But it's okay because it seems like that's what he does, and he knows a lot about it, or at least he's done a lot of the research for it before he gets in, and then he kind of talks about what he's going to do and how he's going to do it. But he started off by creating his own system, and then he now uses the Stuka Joe system for it. And I actually have used it for Command and Colors as well. I've done the Tricorn, which is the American Revolution one, and it works pretty well with that too. So, but yeah, I wanted to give it a shout out just so if anybody's looking for more war game content, he does a great job, good history about it and everything.
And the one that Heathwell mentions there, My Own Worst Enemy, I've already subscribed to him. Does a lot of old stuff as well. I think I've subscribed to everyone, actually. I don't care. Even you, Tony.
It's great that they have all these videos titled "My Worst Enemy."
Yeah, My Own Worst Enemy.
Yeah, some people. Yeah, you got to look through.
Yeah, I don't even see like his channel. Oh, there we go. I think. Let's see.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I can put that in the chat line there because
it may be of interest.
Ooh, he's done the Horse and Musket. I like that.
Yeah, he does a lot of old stuff as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Don't Tread on Me. Oh, good. That's yeah. I'll have to get into his stuff and take a look around. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. There you go.
You guys gave me the shout out, and so I'm trying to repay the favor, pay it forward for.
Why not? We're a very small community. Yeah. Everybody knows everybody else. Everybody knows me. Everybody knows you and Jester. You know, it's a very sort of close knit community.
We're a niche of a niche hobby.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we have to support everyone.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I can more put this right.
Here we go.
And it kind of, no, I'm not going to go. But when you go watch someone's video, it really only takes a second to click the like button.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen too many times where a video has been played like 1,000 times and has like 8 thumbs up. Okay. When you're trying to support your fellow wargamers, really, seriously, click the like button when you go there to watch this video. It only takes you a second to do it. And it really, seriously helps out.
It does.
Because it's going to send that video out to other people that might be interested in that subject. So, if you come across a good channel, you like the video, hit the like button. Don't just watch the video. Seriously. It really is as much time and effort and everything that I put into the video on the Lucania incident. It's been viewed 80 times, and it's got 9 thumbs up and 1 thumbs down. So my question is, what happened to the other 70 people? Are they still watching it? What's going on?
Yeah, I don't. Again, it's people. We've got to educate them. I mention at the end of my videos, just do. I know it gets on people's nerves, but if you just click the like button, and it gets sent out, and people get to know you, and you can spread the word yourself. If you get well known, and then when you mention another channel, more people are going to hear about that new channel that comes out. It helps everyone in the end.
That's right.
And it doesn't just click, off you go.
They follow different channels for different types of games. Says Keith, well, the more the merrier. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not going to go off on it, but it really does help when you go watch someone's video. Just give it a thumbs up. Just hit it. And even if you don't like it, you're watching the video, went over there. Somebody out there went through the trouble to post that video,
make it
the video, record it live, whatever. Show them a little bit of respect by just hitting the like button. It doesn't take you but a second. And it really does help all the channels out there. When the wargaming community doesn't have a lot of people, we don't have a lot of, nobody's like, I don't know of a wargame channel that has like 1 million people subscribe, right? So we have to do whatever we can to help everyone out. Not just one person, but everyone.
That's good advice.
And also, I run out of content to watch, so I need more content to watch on my during my planning periods. I like to have something going on in the background, and a lot of these guys are really good. And sometimes I'll stop my planning and actually watch the video.
Yeah,
but definitely.
We're nuts, aren't we? It takes up your life. We watch. We're not even watching a video on. He's playing a game or she's playing a game, and you're clipping counters or you're doing something else. It's crazy. We're crazy.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the people that weren't here last week, right? And they didn't get a chance to watch our video, and they didn't know the stuff that we covered last week. And one of the things we covered last week was the GMT P500.
Don't you mention that. It's your fault.
Right.
And
we tried, right? We tried last week to share the information. These are if you want any of these games, they're in final production. You need to jump on them now before they move up and they leave this. And once they leave, they're going to be full price for you guys. Again, why we're winning the award for best wargaming channel on YouTube. Because we're trying to help the people out there, and we gave them the information, right? We shared the information with them. We went over this. We showed them all. Here's the games, final production. If you're going to get them, you better order them now. And guess what? This week, they all got shipped out.
Yep, Wednesday, I think it was when they released them.
So every one of them moved up, and now you can't get them all. They're all full price now. So we're trying to help you guys out.
Well, you helped me out as well because I took the plunge and ordered Next War Vietnam.
You got Next War Vietnam, right?
Yeah, the next day it was off the list.
Right.
And then the next day they've charged me. So it's all been paid for. I'm just got to wait for it now to get over to Second Chance Games. And I'm
Are
just
they?
like,
Does that help you with the shipping costs? Because I know.
well, the game's cheaper anyway, and
Mhm.
we have quite a good rate with the dollar. The shipping was $30, but even if you add that onto the price of the game, I'm still saving about £15.
So GMT, it's definitely a good idea to P500.
At the moment, yeah.
Yeah.
So I've gone bonkers. I've ordered the next lot. I've ordered Next War Poland and
Oh, good.
So what we
Good
need you
games.
guys to do, right? So we talked about the ones that were at the printer last week. We talked about the ones that made the cut. Let's talk about the ones that haven't made the cut yet.
yeah, I've got lots in these.
Let's see if we can get some people interested, because there's some of these that are about ready to pop over. So we got Crusader, Fast Action Battle number 4.
Yeah.
At 495. So, like, if we can get 5 more people on this one, boom, it's going to move up to the next group.
No, the ones I've ordered. Thank you, not them. Come on.
Well, let's see.
Red Winter.
We got
Red Winter. I thought it did. That's the update kit. The actual one is made the cut. Yeah, that's 694.
Yeah,
for the second edition. Yeah,
Red Winter second edition. Yeah, that's the upgrade. We have no retreat battles. No retreat battles 1942. It's at 446. So we can get some more people to jump on that one. We can pop that up to the next group pretty quick. The Last 100 Yards, Volume 3, The Solomon Islands, 441. We have Unconditional Surrender, Western Campaigns at 430.
I got that one because I like it's smaller maps, like more individual. So if you're worried about a monster game, this like takes it from a monster game to a more narrowed down.
Tony,
what?
You shouldn't have said that.
Here's the thing, and if you pre-order, look, the price is dirt cheap.
It's not expensive.
What's that?
Do you need unconditional surrender to play that though?
No, you do not.
Okay.
Standalone.
Yep. It takes the different campaigns throughout the years and you play them, and they're only like, I think is it 11 by 17 maps? I think they're like,
right.
yeah, there's a France map, a Poland map.
Oh, you rotter.
I know. I'm just making your life a living hell, aren't I?
You are.
6. Okay, here you go. I'll even say 6 8.5 by 11 maps. That's A2 size, if I remember right.
No, that's
or A1.
8.5 by 11 is perfect for my desk.
Yeah. Like, so they've taken the campaigns and shrunk them down into, like standard, page.
A4.
And the other thing is,
a bit longer than A4.
About it. Which one are we talking about?
The Unconditional Surrender, the Western campaigns.
Did I miss it?
No.
Oh, it's which one is it here?
Keep going. I think it's at the top
Oh,
there.
Western campaigns, right. Here's the cool thing about this one is it's rated solitaire pretty good too.
What level is it? Combat level. Is it tactical or
operational?
Right.
Map scale is 30 to 40 miles per hex, and unit scale is either an army, a fleet, or a wing.
Oh, it's supposed to be pretty good system anyway, isn't it? People rate.
Yeah, I actually have the full Unconditional Surrender. That's kind of maybe a summertime game. Yeah, because it's 2 maps. That might be like when I'm off of teaching and once the kids get older, when they're not so like hands-on.
Heathwell, here's what I would recommend.
Yeah, I've got it, Heathwell.
Heathwell, this is what I would recommend. If you want a Cursed Civil War, then what you want to do is you want to jump on this one right here, Musket and Pike Dual Pack, which has both this Accursed Civil War and Sweden Fights On, which has both of them. And
does it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I missed that one.
So I would not recommend you put your money into this Accursed Civil War, because that one hasn't even made the cut yet. This one's made the cut. It's at 900 and some odd, 907. So this one's going to be printed soon.
I'll have to delete that one and order that one.
Yeah, I would.
Thanks for that.
Right? You know, that's why we're getting voted best
I could see that.
on YouTube, because we try to help the people out there.
Make it very easy, aren't you?
There's another one that you should get, Ruff.
Shut up. No, what? No.
I don't know if you have the the Great Battles of Alexander.
Yes, I've got it. I've ordered them.
Okay.
I've ordered Alexander and I've ordered Julius Caesar.
Okay, so you're good. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't worry. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I got that, and there's so much crap in that game. It's just, you know, yeah.
So here's my question. There is like over 50 games. And if I was to ask you what was the most ordered P500 game that GMT currently has, what would be your guess?
Me,
Both of you.
Pacific War.
Mr. President.
Oh, you cheater. Don't stop looking.
I did look, but
Oh,
it
right.
doesn't surprise me. I've been waiting for that game for 3 years now, I think, is when they initially launched
Where
it.
is it? Where is
You're
it?
too far. It's 2,216.
2,216.
Yeah.
Which is A, it's a solitaire game. And B, it's a card-driven game, which we talked about 2 or 3 episodes ago when we talked about the most popular war games out there.
Yes, and you like a card-driven game, don't you?
Well, I do
too. I do too.
think it's a good way of handling things is using a card to do multiple different things. You know, I can play this card for the event, or I can play it for the ops, or I can play it for some, you know, whatever. But here's the thing that I find so interesting, right? Is the wargame companies have this non-traditional war game that is like the #1 pre-selling game out there that's solitaire. Why are wargame people in general, I guess I'm just talking in general. Hey, Steven, how you doing? But good to see you.
Oh, hi, Stephen.
Why in general, if it's a #1 pre-selling P500 game, why do we not have more of the solitaire card-driven games? Why do we not have more of those?
I truly believe we're getting into it now.
I think
if you look, there's another one.
Up if they want to sell a lot of games.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you look, a lot of God, did I freeze? No, okay.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay. So it got quiet. If you look, a lot of not just war game publishers, but game publishers in general are starting to add a solitaire aspect to a lot of their games. Now, and this kind of leads on to what I think where you're headed, where you're segueing to.
Ooh, very posh.
If you scroll up just a little bit to the top of that where it says made the cut, there are 2 games there that have more pre-orders than any of the other war games. The 1833 and 1848, which honestly, I am a big fan of the 18XX series. Because the rules are simple, but it's very deep. It's an economic simulation, but it's almost like war. You have to you take control of stuff. You mess with other people, you mess with their companies. So it's definitely something that's interesting that a war game company is going on to the economics and the economic game side of things. The other thing that I said, if you look, there's more solitaire games. That other one, the Snake one. Yep. That one I've pre-ordered. Solitaire. Solitaire capability, I should say. It's not all solitaire. It's not.
No, it's either co-op or solitaire. That's the only way you can play it. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I did. I can't remember which company it was. It might have been Compass, but they were having a chat and they were talking about the solitaire capability of games. And the chap said, "Well, if we get a game in, unless it's got a solitaire option, we don't want to know, and they have to go away and write one." So solitaire is very important now, even for publishers. So
I think if you were to go on GMT website 5-6 years ago, you would get like game after game, hex encounter, hex encounter, hex encounter, hex encounter, different, different operational, tactical, all this stuff. But I mean, if you go through the list now, you actually got a lot of solitaire games. You find a lot of games that are used with cards. I think, to be honest, we're still going to have hex encounter games. I mean, obviously, one of the ones that just came out was your traditional 1919 Storm in the West, traditional hex encounter type map, where you're moving counters around on your map. And I don't think that's going to go away.
No.
But I think wargaming is exploding into new avenues of playing war games as opposed to playing hex encounter war games.
You've got the influx of Euro games influencing war games, and that can make them easier to play solo. Solo is hot at the moment because of obvious reasons.
It was actually getting hotter even before COVID, but
and it's gone bonkers now, isn't it? So yeah. But all unless you haven't got any friends like me, solo is a must.
I mean, it's good to see a variety. It's not just the same old hex encounter with, well, this one's battalion level. Well, this one is squad level. Well, this is operational level. It's the same game, the same counters, just different level of detail and the units.
Different map.
At least we're now seeing things where area, point-to-point movement, cards. I mean, if you look at the coin game system, and that has really bled into a lot of other games. I don't know how many of these games, if you go through them, are using little cubes because they got to keep information for, whatever the system they're using. They're using the little cubes now instead of the traditional war game. I think the popularity of coin system has really opened the publisher's eyes to look at more avenues than, well, if it's a hex encounter game, we don't want it. Or, unless it's a hex encounter, we don't want it. Now they're like, oh, well, what do you got? Like Tony said, you have the 18XX games, right? I think there's like 3 coin games on this list now.
Mm-hmm. You have Mr. President, which is definitely
Mr. President. You have this Wizards, Mystery Wizards. Another coin game here. You got a card-driven game here. Another coin game here. I think it's for me. It's you got these tag battle games.
Yeah, those are totally different than the standard.
You got a card-driven game down here. You got another one here. I mean, it's refreshing that I'm playing war games and it's not always hex encounters. What I'm saying, it's at least I see the companies trying new things, whether they're work out, that's to be determined or whatever. But
you don't know until you try.
Right, exactly. You don't know if it's going to be great. I mean, I'm sure when the guy came with originally the GMT with his coin idea, they were like, I don't know about this.
Well, that actually developed from Labyrinth,
right?
So they did so, and Labyrinth really developed from Twilight Struggle. But imagine the first time Twilight Struggle came to GMT, that had to be a tough sell in some cases.
Yeah. Where are the tanks?
Yeah, yeah. Where's the cardboard counters? Where's the infantry? Yeah. So, but yeah, there's definitely a huge variety. I mean, they got racing games.
Yeah,
they're looking at different things on that. The solo, the storm above the Reich or skies above the Reich.
I've ordered
that. I've got it. I actually pulled it out to prep it and realized I've already prepped it. So I spent all last weekend. It was just kind of really crappy weather. I spent all last weekend prepping like sleeving cards for DBG games. I had to order more sleeves because I ran out of card sleeves.
Yeah.
And that was after I just did Tiger Leader. I was like,
you order them 500 or 1,000 at a time. It's crazy. But I didn't get the expansion or the standalone game to it because I want to try the Skies Over the Reich first.
Yeah, I didn't get that one yet either. And maybe next year they'll have the sale, the GMT sale, which I don't, there's some usually pretty good deals, but they're not doing it this year. So,
no.
So
well, I hope more people. I mean, a lot of people will look at one of these games and go, "Oh God, there's only 204 people and needs 500. I'm not going to pre-order it," and then it never moves up the ladder because not enough people ever decide to order it. So
you'll order that one because that's one of mine as well. So peeps, put your order in for that one.
Put your order in. Rough needs it done, so let's get it going. I just put in like 10 more pre-orders from the.
I've never done this before, and I wish I had done it earlier because if I can save £15-20, because that game when it gets over to pre-order it at the moment, I got it for I think £65 with postage, and if you pre-order it, it's going to cost you £77 plus postage.
Right.
And then when it's normally it will be £86. So why don't other companies do this for us over here? GMT do it, Lock and Load do it, but Compass don't, Legion don't. I think they're missing out.
I don't have an answer. I don't know why they don't do that. I would hope they would do that. Hey, the original Grognard is here.
OG.
What's going on, my friend? Good to see you. Yeah, you don't need to.
I know we're a very, very small market in the UK and Europe, but we have feelings too. And, GMT, I've discovered it, and gold helped my credit card. And it's all down to you, Jester. But yeah, I can get games and I get them earlier and I can save a few quid. I'm not sure what's going to happen after January the 1st with the Brexit thing and whatever. But I understand Second Chance Games have got things in the pipeline to deal with that. I think GMT will say we still want to sell games to UK and Europe. We'll still something. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. If not, I'll just cancel them if they're going to go daft. But at the moment, I'm very happy with next war Vietnam and just waiting for it to get across the old pond there.
Yeah, it's definitely a good system.
And that was you.
Yeah, Tony. I know that was my fault. I know. I know. I've got it too. So don't think I'm skipping out on that. I've got that one coming too. I can't wait to get it to open it up, do a nice box opening, and
yeah, I'll be doing one.
We introduced this to the people last week. We talked about it. We did everything we could possibly do. Guys, it's ready to go. Order it or it's going to be gone.
What's that?
Guess what? It's gone now.
Yeah,
So
you got to
you
pay
didn't
full price.
jump on it. You should have been here last week listening to our fine folks because we know what we're talking about. We're getting, remember, best YouTube wargaming channel. I think the award.
Stevens
Roberts Award for best wargaming news channel. We're getting it this year, so thanks to us for that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's good news. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, I wonder if it'll be cheaper because you won't have to deal with all the.
We haven't got VAT on it. It might be 20% cheaper.
No friendly VAT.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that actually, it would come to the war game community. That might actually be a good thing.
Yeah. So I'm not panicking yet. My credit card is, but I'm not panicking yet. But say GMT do it, Lock and Load do it. They deal with Second Chance Games, but a lot of the others don't. And you'd go bonkers. I'd pre-order the Carrier one from Compass Games rather than wait.
I actually put in a couple pre-orders this week for those ones that we covered last week. The presidential debate from 1824, the Solitaire, Midway, and I think it was just those two, and then a bunch on GMT, trying to get them bumped up on the list.
No, we just want to save a few quid. It's good. It's great. I love it.
Yeah. I figure, it might be a while before we get it, but sooner or later,
And the other thing I'm waiting for, because the OG's here, is the Lock and Load Kickstarter. Oh,
I know, for the World at War 85.
oh yeah, and Devin Stalingrad as well. Can't wait for that either.
as long as they print all the cards.
I tell you what, talking about that DVG, I got my delivery of the second wave of battle packs. Eventually, now they've had problems, I know, but I got.
Siri sent you your stuff from DVG.
They sent them via Zatu over here. But here's the new battle packs for the Warfighter. I'll be doing unboxings for that. But
Check the packs. Next match.
But no, the thing is, they also ordered the errata pack, combo errata pack, which replaced cards mainly in the Air Force, because some of them were printed with the wrong names, a couple of bits. Look how many I had to replace.
I know. I'm like, do I throw these away? I did that. See, that was one of the games I fixed. Do I throw those away? I'm thinking, yeah.
But the thing is, that cost me an extra $2 because they wanted it just for postage. So they do look after you. So, but it's taken a while. So don't
tell you,
Jester.
I will tell you one thing. I was prepping. So, like I said, I was prepping and I ran out of sleeves. I'm like, well, what DVG game can I prep that doesn't have any cards? And it was Fleet Commander Nimitz.
Oh, that doesn't, right.
And one of my sheets was totally off print. Like, it was off print, the die cut. And to the point where, like, I'm usually pretty liberal, like, oh, as long as I can read it. No, the numbers were off. And I emailed them. I sent in a service notice. They say, like, yes, we go ahead. I just need your address, and can you tell me what sheet? I'm like, well, here's the pictures. I hope this tells you what sheet. They're like, I got notification. It took less than a week. It's in the mail. I should have it next couple days.
There you go. See, it's you. You're upsetting Jester.
No. I believe he had a legit gripe with that.
No,
but
joking apart, he did.
Yeah,
and they will sort it.
Well, just as an update, I emailed them on Friday and said, hey, haven't heard anything from you. I sent you photographs of everything to show you what was going on. Do we have any update for this? Siri hasn't gotten back with me yet. I think the company has blackballed me for some reason. So
I wonder why.
I'm not sure. I don't know what I possibly did. I am a loving, caring, kind, considerate person. There's nothing but the good of the people behind all my actions. I have no idea why they would take that offense against me.
Yeah, it took a time. They'll figure it out. It'll get done.
It'll get done, but it will take time.
Yep. Yeah, I know. I got that errata pack. Actually, I ended up getting 2 of them by accident.
I got one of the first battle pack wave.
Yeah.
The wrongly printed backs who coloured.
Yeah.
But now I've got them and I've just taken them out and put them in. It's lovely, all done, no problem.
So the cards that replace the cards, the backs, do the backs look right?
There's no backs on them because they're.
No, these ones. No, they're like what do you call it? Sherman tank leader. There's 3 per set. My only thing is these are nice thick. I'm not sure which ones I prefer. With the original game, they have thick cards. The replacements with thinner cards. I think I prefer the thinner cards.
I know. I was thinking the same. They fit better in the sleeves when you put all 3.
Yeah, ooh, lovely. Yeah.
And Ruff, you were the one that got me turned on to doing that, by the way.
Yeah.
Putting all 3 in and then being able to pull, because I watched you do that. I'm like, that's how you got to do it. Like, because it made sense.
Shifted it, and he had them all loose on the table, and they're all doing this, And I'm thinking, I'm in a bloody sleeve. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played it, so I don't know.
I haven't got it. I can't comment, Stephen. I am surprised, but I can't comment. I haven't got it. How are you getting on with the Nimitz? You got Nimitz, haven't you, Jester?
Yes, I do have it.
How are you getting on with the rules? Because people are moaning about the rules, evidently.
That's on the bottom of the stack right now.
Oh, right. Okay.
I'm pissed off the DVG over what they did. I just can't. I was waiting to play this game. That's why I got on the Kickstarter. I wanted Nimitz, but it just has. I have this bad taste in my mouth over the whole $350 that I spent on this shit. That's not worth. Oh, excuse my British there.
It never gets boring when he says that.
Nope. Hey, Todd, how's it going?
Hey, Todd.
Wardrobe.
What's going on, my friend? Good to see you.
You got to click the next one.
Click the next one. Yeah.
Gentleman and ID. Yep. Ha 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 ha. Question mark? Wait, what? That doesn't make. Yeah. No. That's like. Anyways. So you sent out an email for us to come up with some games, Jester.
He's trying to move it along.
So what? What'd you say, Ruff?
He's trying to move it along.
I still didn't understand you. What?
Doesn't matter. He's trying to move the podcast along. Talking about your assignment homework.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Go ahead, move it along, Tony. I'll let Tony do it this week.
Well, we were segueing into it, I think, perfectly with all the options that are out there that a lot of the war games are going into. And you kind of threw us an email and threw us an idea of what non-traditional or non-war game or games that war gamers we think would like or should like or, would enjoy. So I've got 3 of them.
So the homework assignment was for them to come up with 3 to 5 games that are not traditional hex encounter war games. So I didn't want whatever. I didn't want traditional hex encounter games, but I thought that would be interesting for war gamers to play. So that was their assignment for this week. So let's see how well they did.
I shall go first, and you guys have already seen the first one, which is the 18XX series. Now, because I kind of took it as non-war games, but it's so much fun. It's, I kind of talked about it already, so I'm just going to move on.
So I have a question about that.
Yeah.
So why is your feeling that a war gamer would enjoy that game?
Because my war game group and a whole bunch of war gamers play it consistently.
Can you blow up tracks and
No, you can't blow anything up.
Oh, wow.
But I think the interaction is very similar. It's more like economic warfare in that case. But a bunch of my buddies that are war gamers as well play it. We always have games going online. There's a lot of online applications for them, the different games. And so I've got like 3 or 4 games going at one time because it's kind of like you do your turn and then it goes on to the next person. They do their turn. So it's just there's a lot of my buddies are war gamers, love playing the 18XX. Some of them don't, some of them do. But I was introduced to it and being who I am and what my interests are, it really piqued my interest on that. They have so many different varieties, and you can see just on GMT alone, they have like 4 different 18XX games. The 1830 is kind of like the traditional, that's the first game that ever, I won't say ever because there were some other ones, but that's kind of like the beginning, kind of like the hallmark one of them. So yeah, it's just through the experiences that I've had with other war gamers that really seem to jump on it and enjoy it.
What do you think? I mean, so your wargaming group enjoys this other group, or this other game, but it's not a war game.
Yep.
What do you think about what? I mean, if you had to like nail something, is it the competition?
Yeah, it's definitely the competition in the fact you can screw each other over pretty good.
Okay, so that's what the wargamer wants, is he wants to be able to screw over his buddies,
yeah,
and laugh at them. Okay,
yep.
All right.
Yep. So the next two I have are more historically themed. And then this one, Black Orchestra,
Okay.
which is you're trying to kill Hitler. You are a group of, and you can play it solo, which is really nice, or you can play up to 5 players. It's a solo co-op game, and you have different skills. You got to get Hitler in the right place. I'm talking about this one.
I was going to ask you.
Yep.
Yes, I've heard of that. Yes, Black
Yes.
Orchestra.
It's frustratingly fun.
What's the release on that? Release date?
This is the second edition.
And who made it?
It's by Philip Dewberry, and the publisher is Game Salute. 2017 is when it was the copyright date on this. And like this was the second one. This was the second Kickstarter. So they had one Kickstarter and it went phenomenally well. And I was looking for it, and then they Kickstarted it again. And I think you can get it just about anywhere. It's got a golden.
It's still available then.
Yeah, it's still available. Golden Geek Award, best game of 2016. So yeah. So definitely recommend that.
What about, and would I like it?
Yes, I think you would like it. It's card driven, so there's cards that help.
Solitaire?
Yes, solitaire co-op, so 1 to 5.
Yeah.
You can play with just one character, or you can play as multiple characters if you want. That's up to you. It scales, so if you are only playing one player, it takes some things out. If you're playing with more players, it adds some things in, so it scales up pretty well. But you're basically trying to kill Hitler. Yeah.
Why would you want to do that? Anyway.
Yeah. So you're a group of internal Germans that are, not happy with Hitler, and the components are phenomenal on it. The cards are phenomenal. I've had a lot of fun playing it. It's you kind of get irritated when you don't get to kill them, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll look into it. I've heard of it. Yes.
Yes, very good. My last one is by Academy Games, so you guys might recognize this one, which is
I heard a lot about this. Yeah,
Freedom, the Underground Railroad. Again, I first started out more playing games for the history, and then I got into wargaming. So that's kind of my track on that. But the problem with Freedom, the Underground Railroad is that even if you win, you feel like you've lost. But learning the history behind the Underground Railroad and escaped slaves, getting slaves up to Canada, it's really does a well job at it. It's very respectfully done. There has been no like hubbub about it like there was on some of the other games, similar topics. And you learn the history. There's cards in it as well. You can buy allies, but there's also pardon?
Solo?
So yes. Yeah, again, it's solo it's co-op game. So I think you can choose up to 4 characters, and there's multiple different characters. So there's a lot of different characters you can choose, and all of them have different traits and stuff like that. And again, it scales very well. So if you are playing a solo player, you have to only get a smaller number of slaves across. But if you're playing like a 4-player, there's a larger number. So it scales really well, whether you're playing 1 or 4.
And
go ahead.
It's very thought-provoking.
Yes.
I remember reading an after-action report, if you could call it, for this game, that everything went quiet afterwards. It was a very, somber thing. So, and that's not a bad thing. That's
definitely. Definitely, those were kind of the 3 that I thought. 2 of them were more of the history based, because I know a lot of war gamers are into the history behind the games, and so there's a lot of history, because the attempt on Hitler did happen multiple times. It was Operation Valkyrie is. I think that's what this is, Operation Valkyrie. I think it's kind of a tweak on that. I think there's another game for that. That's why they didn't call it that. But that's kind of the whole idea, is you're trying to assassinate Hitler.
They tried to blow him up in, 33 at the beer hall?
Oh yeah, he was 5 minutes away from getting blown up.
Delayed, yeah.
Yeah, it's like seriously. So yeah,
Of course, he's going, I'm the chosen one.
yeah. He's like, see, and every time he avoids it, well, especially in the Wolf Layer when the bomb went off and he survived. Unfortunately, that gave, instead of making him realize that people were trying to kill him, that made him more cocky and like, yep, see, I can survive. I meant to survive. Yeah. So
yeah, crazy.
Of course, that's exactly. I mean, if you were him, that's what you would do. You would turn this into a publicity thing to show people that they should support you and back you, and everything you say should happen because God is looking after you.
Yeah. Crazy.
Put up. So Wardrobe put a really good description on the 18XX. By the way, his last comment there.
Yeah, I was going to wait till you were done.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm done with that. Yeah.
So it seems like there's multiple choices and strategic thinking needed to play the 18XX games. So wargamers will like it. Also, there's a historic flavor to them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the choices is that, like I said, learning the rules, very easy. Playing it very well, you have to play the game a lot to play it well.
Yeah.
But it's fun because you're like, oh crap, because you can dump a bad company on another person. There's potential for that, so you could all of a sudden have a company that you need to run that's gonna like cause you a lot of problems, and yeah, so it's a lot of fun.
So best to play with people you don't like,
or people that don't take it seriously.
Yeah, it's a game.
Yeah, it's a game. Yeah. So, matter of fact, just real quick, a little quick tangent. I was on the World at War 85, the BGG. There's a huge thread going on about the effectiveness of artillery, and these people keep arguing about it. If you haven't seen it, no, I wanted to go. It's a effing game.
Yeah, just play the game, crikey. Oh,
yeah, and it's coming from people that are trying to min-max everything. It's
not ASL.
no.
It's a game. Crikey.
It's a bloody game. Just have fun. Yeah.
Well, I can understand. You just lived through this, right? One of the things we talked about at the beginning of this episode was the fact that in the Hunters, those airplanes are brutal.
Mm-hmm.
They can be one bad roll, and it's not like you have, a chance. It's just sub-destroyed. Yeah. And I can see some people arguing, right, that, oh, this just seems too brutal, and then other people saying no, it's realistic. So I can see both sides to the story.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, it's a game.
Yeah.
You experienced it, wasn't pleasant, but you lived with it. The decision that the dice made, and you didn't have a cow about it.
And it's a game. If you don't like that rule, house rule it. The same with the artillery and lock and load. Use it or don't, or change it or adapt it, as long as everybody's happy. If you're playing on your own, of course, doesn't matter, does it? I can't understand these.
Well, you can't change it because it's our challenge. So I mean,
no,
change the rule for that. But I know what you're saying. But
yeah,
I mean, I don't. Okay, I mean, we could go off. I'm not going to go off on a tangent with this, but
no, that's for another time.
Talked about, and Paul makes the same point, right? And I talked about this at the beginning of our episode.
They were brutal.
If you go and look, and I have, because I spent probably 40 hours this last week investigating, and talking, and looking at different U-boats and the situations that was going on and everything. Almost 80 to 90%. If you watch the end of the video that I posted on the Lucania incident, both U-156 and U-506 were both sunk by planes.
But even a fighter, if you're on the surface and you don't see this fighter, it's coming at you at 300, 400 mile an hour, you've got a lot of time before it starts strafing you.
Right.
And you're on the top there in the conning tower. Yeah, nasty. Oh, but didn't you have some actual war games for this as well, Tony?
No, actually, those are I'm big on I could list all the coin games. Those are not traditional hex and counter games that are war games that I would say would fit that. I've introduced coin to one particular person and it got him interested in, well, not just no kidding. I had people had bought the games, never played them, and then after we played it, they're like, oh, I want to play it more. It gets hooked. I mean, there's a lot to it, and now granted, he played other games as well, but just introducing him into that whole series was great. We had so much fun with it. And the one guy I'm thinking about, he was actually, we started a Distant Plane. He was actually over in Afghanistan training the troops, and we were actually putting a Distant Plane. And he's like, oh, this is great. This is so I started talking to him about tactics and kind of the history, and he really got into it. Mm-hmm. And so, but he was more of a hex. He played, he really likes Paths of Glory. Unfortunately, he's moved over to your side of the pond, Ruff. Actually, not in England, but on the continent. He's over in Belgium.
That's not too far away.
No. So we're going to try to get on Vassal and do some stuff on Vassal, but we kept trying to get together when he lived in the area, and kids and life and all that other stuff.
Yeah, gets in the way.
So, but no, but he definitely, he was one that was really Hex Encounter or, Paths of Glory, which is a card-driven game. But then I said, well, let's play this one, because he's like, I really wanted to. So he tried it and got him hooked on that. So yeah, definitely the coin is non-traditional on the war game side of that thing. And I really, and then of course we have the hunters, That's
not
Mr.
Smith has got a lot to answer for. A great game.
Yeah.
What were your games you thought?
Well, I've done both. You see, I've done non-traditional Hex Encounter war games and non-war games that war gamers might like. In other words, that I like. So,
sure.
What do you want to start with?
Both. Let's do both.
Yeah, I know, but which one? I can't do them both.
Just make up your mind.
All right, I'll make up. Non-war games.
So these are non-war games first, okay?
That might be of interest to war gamers, and because there's battles in them, if you like. So there are, and one of them, you see, before I got into this, a little bit of a sort of intro. Before I got into the war games, I was always into fantasy, Dungeons and Dragons, that sort of game. When I come onto YouTube to look for stuff, that's what I was looking for. So my first games I got were those sort of games, and I still play them and I still love them. And one of the first ones I got was, dungeon stuff. This thing here.
Oh, nice. Yep.
Soft little fun game, solo. You go around killing things and you have to get to the end. It's a sort of survival thing. I like survival games. And there's an expansion for this, and it's a very small footprint. And it's card driven. It's all cards, and you're turning over the card to see which monster you're getting next, and you have to get through that level of the dungeon. So you have to get through the pack. Then you do the second level, and you can keep your score, and you can build on it, keep the character. There's loads of characters, and unusually for this, all the characters are female, which is, I think, is rather cool. Because there's some, you think, oh yeah, some warriors and wizards and things like that, but they're all female. So, have you had experience of that?
I have. I love it.
It's great. It's a easy to learn game.
I actually I have the digital version of that.
Yes, it's on Steam, isn't it? Yeah. So there's that.
Pretty cool. It's pretty cool little. It's kind of the build up. It has that mechanism where you slowly build up to meet up at the end to fight the big boss at the end. But it's every time you're trying to build up, you have the chance of not doing good things happen, and bad things can happen. So you want to build up, but you don't want to. It's like, oh, do I risk something happening?
What do you build up? Because there's decisions to be made. Do you go for the health? Do you go for the magic? Do you go for this? And I quite like it. No, it's a great game. Yeah. And the other one I got was
Oh, you're going with the tiny battles, the tiny
This is a
epic
great
games.
game. And you can play it solo or the family play this as well. And again, you're fighting other players, and I think it's great. It's not
What
very
is the name of it?
sorry, Tiny Epic Battle, Epic Galaxies.
Tiny Epic Galaxies. Okay.
Yep.
It's an expansion.
So
for
what is what do you do? What's the goal of the game?
you have to well, you have to win. So what you've got? I'm just sorry, I'm being flippant.
It basically, I can describe it. You have to
Oh,
do
yeah,
things to get points, and yeah, everybody's got different. I love the Tiny Epic series. I love them. I have the
It is
Tiny.
very cool. Here's your play mat, and there are loads of them. And if you're playing by yourself, you can pick easy, medium, or hard, or very hard. And you have to try not to get destroyed by the rogue galaxies which are out to get you. So you have to sort of colonize planets and things like that. It is a cracking little game, which I think wargamers might like, because again, it's battles, but it's not combat, but it's survival and battles and everything like that. So that's and it's check it out, Jester. You might like it. I don't know what your thing is.
Now that you took it out of the box, I've actually played that once.
Oh, have you? Yeah, it's a very well-known game. And the other one, again, is a survival game, and it's a print and play game. You can buy this, I think, in a boxed version, but my version is print and play, and it's called Desolate.
Desolate.
And you're marooned. Oh, hello. You're marooned on a. Oh, got a bit fuzzy. Marooned on a planet, and you have to survive aliens. And again, it's a deck-driven game. And I've printed these out. It's very easy to play. You roll dice, see if you defeat the monsters, and try and get to the end, sort of thing. And as a war gamer, I love these sort of games. And it's a very small footprint. You have a little mat with your. There's expansions for this as well, which I've got. Let's see if I can find. Yeah, you've got oxygen and health and ammo cards, and you use little cubes to make notes of that. And you move along, fight the aliens, try and find equipment, try and find weapons, try and find oxygen because you're running out of oxygen. Try and find health if you get hit by an alien. It's very quick. It takes about 10 minutes to play. That's how quick it is. You're either dead or you're not. So you can set it up again and play it again. I love it. So I don't know if they're of any use or interest to people, but that's three. There are many more. 3 non-wargaming games that I like as a war game, and hopefully that would be of interest to people who play war games. However, for war games, the decision was very hard because I've got a lot of non-hex and counter war games, but I love this.
I've been looking at that.
And Target for Tonight as well, which is from the British point of view. This is the Americans stationed over here, going across to Germany. It is intense. It is very unlikely that you would survive.
That's the one where you have your whole formations.
No, it's you.
It's just one ship.
One
plane.
One plane, yeah.
Okay.
There are options for you to be part of a sort of squadron-y.
And then you keep your crew and then get attacked and.
Yeah, you have to I name my crew and all that sort of thing, and they get attacked and they get wounded and they get killed, and you have a cry, and you try and get through 25 missions. But yeah, fantastic. Of course, it's the B-17 Queen of the Skies, if you like, update.
Kind of the same system.
I recommend that highly. The other one that I've chosen is Pavlov's.
Okay.
again, they're very hard to win, and this is what we want in a. This is solo, as is target for tonight, today. Solo game. David Thompson, of course, and it's based loosely on the legend of Pavlov defending in a house with a handful of Soviet soldiers against the onslaught of the Germans, and it's cracking game. He's also done in this series Castle Itter and
which one? A rough. Which one do you like better, Pavlov's House or Castle Itter?
Castle Itter is harder. It's bonkers. They're both good. I didn't know which one to pick.
Okay.
The components are great. The map's great. Easy also for newbies. This is a good game.
Did you have fun with the counters, by the way?
What do you mean?
The Kickstarter counters of like the people like in modern day dress and like that you can submit your picture if you paid enough on. I thought that was kind of cheesy, but I mean,
great. If you were a Kickstarter and you've got your own counter, that's great. But me, no, they're gone.
Yeah,
so
got it.
there's no use. Why would I use them? You know, they were there for the Kickstarters, and I can understand that. And the last game is one of my favourite solo games, and it's another DVG. I'm afraid this is fantastic. I love this. As you can tell by the battle packs I've just got, this for a solo non-hex and counter game. People poo-poo it because it's like beer and pretzels.
I like beer and pretzels.
I don't like that term. It's horses for courses. One man's meat, another man's poison, so to speak. I love my complex games, don't get me wrong. But then when I just want to sit down and lose myself for an hour, Warfighter, and I've got this, the Pacific, and I've got the modern as well. So, and again, it's a bit involved, not overly complex. There's a lot of rules. There's this thing about complexity. Is it complex, or is it just there's lots of rules that you have to remember? So, but yeah, great narrative again. I love it. This is one of my favourite games to play. I can just get it out. Everything's good. So there we go. That's mine. But again, I could have picked the Hunters, could have picked this, could have picked that. I could have picked Patton's best. I could have there's loads that aren't traditional hex encounters, which is a good thing.
Absolutely. I think, like we talked about a little bit ago, I think the more variety, more people will play different kinds, and I remember when I lived in Ohio, and I had a couple buddies, and they weren't really gamers. They weren't really war gamers. I had them come over to try, I kept telling them about Avalanche Press and Panzer Grenadier. Oh, it's great. I love it. You're going to love it. Come on over. I'll teach it to you. And I taught it to him, and like 20 minutes later, he's like, he's done. He was like not interested at all. But back then, we're talking probably 10 or 15 years ago, there wasn't much in the, variety of war games. It was a hex encounter game of something, So I think having the ability to have lots of, I think if I would have had like a coin game back then, might have been a totally different story. So I think the more that we can introduce people to other games than just hex encounters, like I said, there's nothing wrong with hex encounter games. But
I love them. No, nothing wrong with them at all.
I think all that you've mentioned, both your non-war games and your war games, yours are all, for me, story driven. Like you have your own story that you are evolving as you're playing through these games. You're making your own story, it seems like.
Very much. That's a big thing for me. Even if I play a traditional hex encounter game, I still have to have a story. When I'm playing it, I still talk to myself and go, oh, my cracker, they're going to try and get round there. Oh, my goodness, how many men we lost there? Yeah, it's got to be, for me, it's very strong. And these games and others are something I have to think about before, it gets into my top list. And I love a narrative-driven game. Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, just after you started mentioning all of them, it seemed like every one of yours was story-driven.
Yeah, even things like Desolate and Epic Galaxies and One Deck Dungeon.
I mean, you're making your own story with your own characters and everything.
Yourself.
Yeah, I love the narrative.
Games, isn't it?
You like that, Tony?
I'm a big narrative guy too. I like narrative, which is, I think I would like ATS a lot, but it's just too many rules, and it's to the point. I play ATS, which is a squad leader, because it's very narrative driven, and that's the whole thing. Is I like to tell the story. I mean, because right now I still have Rock of the Marne on my desk. I'm like 3 turns in, and I'm like starting to lose interest into it because I keep it up because every once in a while I'll go, okay, let's go. The story isn't unfolding like a lot of the games do, but I do want to complete the game because I have a feeling once the allies get their reinforcements, once that turn 7-8 comes in, I think we're talking a different game. Yeah, I think it'll change, but I've got to get the Germans basically taking over everything, and then when the allies come in, I think that's where the game's going to change. And so I want to make sure I give it a good. But a lot of it's because we're doing our contest. We did our contest, our solo competition. That kind of took my attention away from it. Yeah, and then also the other thing is my coin game. The Liberty or Death is. I'm like, it's starting to really develop into something. Which is
that a narrative driven for you game?
The coin or the coin. Yes, very much so. Because I can kind of picture the factions moving around. I can do a little bit more.
Yeah, there's a little story going on. I mean, that's why I think more, if you're playing a hex and counter game, that's why I like tactical, I think, a bit more, because you're dealing with either individual soldiers or little groups of soldiers that you become attached to. And this little group, this little platoon maybe has got to do this and sort something out, attack this, attack that, or defend. And even if you're playing both sides, you can switch and go, right, from the Allies' point of view, old Davis down there has to run forward. I'm afraid we've got to pick somebody to sacrifice. You might make it, run across that road and draw the fire. And then as Germans, you go, Schmidt, you've got to run out there and get close enough to lob a grenade at them, and all that's what I love. Yeah. And
Jillian asks, Ruff, are you going to do a playthrough of Army Group Center as you did in an unboxing of this?
All my unboxings, I hope to do a playthrough sometime. It's just when. I've read through the rules, and you know what? It looks really interesting. There's a really interesting combat system in it, and you have to assign the units to different not stages, different how they are. They're in defensive mode, or they're traveling, or whatever. And
like a
doesn't look too complex, but yeah. When I can, it's on my list. It looks really good.
Paul says that Walking Low Games developed a strong narrative.
Yeah, that's so. I got to tell this story because I was playing ATS, and that's kind of my squad level detailed tacticals ATS. That's about the right level for me. And I was playing my buddy Mitch, and we were playing on the East Front scenario, and I was in a tank. He was coming by. He threw a satchel charge at me in my tank, and I had a squad in, I think, the hex as well. The squad caught the satchel charge, threw it back at the at the squad that threw it, and it killed that squad. And that's the type of narrative I'll never forget, that because it's the best. That's the narrative that you get out of some of these games. Yeah. I mean, I had to roll a 10 or a 0, whatever it is. It's a D10, so roll a 0, and I rolled a 0 and I caught it, and I was able to throw it back, and then I rolled on the casualty table and like just destroyed whatever he threw.
You run around the room, don't you? Going, yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Like I said, I twisted my knee you know, playing the Hunters, you know, the other day. Because I was like, yeah, you know, it's like it's that narrative just is so much fun, and I do like the operational lever games sometimes. I like OCS because it's challenging in the fact that you can't, and that's where I think I'm starting to go a little off of the SCS is you can just kind of do what you want to do, and that's I'm kind of
level, but it's not OCS.
it's you can create kind of a killer stack. You're min-maxing as much as possible. It kind of takes some of that away, and unless there's a narrative to it, you know, there's not much. But like with OCS, I'm playing DAC 2 with Big Board Kev.
Yeah,
we've been playing off and on, and I find a story with that because you're having it works out. But with Rock of the Marne, like I said, the story hasn't jumped out at me yet, but I think it will. I just gotta. It's like a book. When you're reading it, you know it's a good book. You know it's going to happen, but the author just keeps like delaying what's supposed to happen. You know, so that's kind of where I'm at with it. So I'm going to trudge through it because I know there's a plot twist. I know the plot twist is on turn 7. I just got to get there to figure out, because right now it's just mopping up the allies. Like that's all I'm doing. So,
but that's ASL and ATS. They're great, very narrative, squad level stuff. But the problem with those for me is that there's just too much of it. And there's too many rules. There's too many modules. With Lock and Load, even though I haven't had a good crack at it yet, it's not as complex as those two. It's complex enough, and there's enough in there to keep me happy without having to buy a new module that comes out every month or whenever they come out. I don't know, but yeah, I think I'm not sure about ATS, but ASL certainly is a way of life.
I have enough ATS that'll last me a long time, and there's still so much out there that I don't have.
And you'll buy some, won't you, if you see it?
No, actually, I've gotten to the point where I'm only buying stuff that I find interesting anymore. I've kind of got over the collectors kind of mentality, and I'm more into the the new coin, that space coin game that they've come out. I don't know if I'll get that. I got
a pre-order.
I still don't know.
The one on Mars.
Yeah, the Alien Insurrection. I might have to get it just to see how it works on a fictional setting.
That might be, I don't know. See, as you know, I'm not convinced with coin. I'm knocking it.
No.
Love it.
Like you said, different strokes for different folks. Yeah.
In the space theme, it might be abstract enough for me to think, oh yeah, aliens this, aliens that, you know, terror, people, whatever.
Yeah, I'm still on the fence on that one.
Red Rebellion is the name of it. Coin number 13 could be lucky or could be unlucky.
Could be the end.
Since we're talking about story, I always told my my Dungeons and Dragons players, right? Because I was always the DM, usually the DM. Crazy that the players have spent all these hours and months and trying to min-max their character and get their numbers and do all this stuff. And I said, none of that matters. The only thing you're going to remember in 10 years is what happened in the game. You're not going to remember what your character stats were. They don't even matter.
You're going to remember the story, aren't you?
You're going to remember the story.
Yeah.
And even if you have like the best strength and everything, right? It's not going to make part of the story, because if you have a guy that has an 18 strength and you need to open this door or everyone's going to die, all you need to roll is like a 12 or higher and you got it. It's no big deal, right? But if you had like a 6 strength and everybody needed you to open the door and you have like, I've got like 1 hit point left, I'm not going to have enough strength to open the door, and the DM says you got to roll 1 to open that door, and you roll 1 and you open the door, That's what people are going to remember. That's
That forever.
what people are going to remember.
You're going to remember how you felt when you rolled that one, and
or that 12 like I did today.
12 in that box car. If you're in a submarine, yes, you're going to remember that forever, aren't you?
Yeah, because and it's like you never remember the battles that you fight where you like absolutely mop up with them. Like you've got like for a hex encounter game, you're never going to remember the battle where you're on the 6-to-1 table and you just run through it. Now, when you're on the 1-to-1 table, you have to take care of this guy to get through. That's what you're going to remember.
You're going, oh,
yeah,
come on,
yeah. Roll some just high enough. I just need to get rid of this guy, either a retreat or to destroy him. I don't care how high it is, just high enough, But yeah,
there's some breathing space here. Yeah, yeah. That's why I say tactical, and it gives me that, and these solo games as well. Hunters, Target for Today, all that sort of ilk. Warfighter.
I translate into that high level strategy. You don't get that personal story. Yeah, I mean,
but you can
does it for their own reasons.
The overall commander, and you think I've lost all my men, all those lives I've lost, I suppose. Yeah, but a bad decision lost me the game, lost me my men. Yeah,
it's you look back at like the game you played like a year ago, and you're like, I played that, but I don't remember anything about it because nothing really interesting happened to make your brain actually keep that in. But I bet you, Tony won't be able to remember his second patrol or third patrol or his fourth patrol because it's just our brain.
I remember the fifth and the last.
He'll remember throwing 666. That's what he'll remember. And we won't let you forget it.
We won't.
Yeah, but at least I put a good number up before I rolled my 666.
See, that would have even been better, right? I mean, you start your patrol off, you go to the first box, and you roll a 12 and you're sunk.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you go, wow, that is something that sticks out like sore thumb.
And the thing is, that happened I guarantee that happened in real life.
Oh,
guarantee a boat went out. It was a maiden voyage, and it was sunk within a couple days out to sea. It's one of those things. I can almost guarantee that it has happened. So
I'm so glad I didn't get sunk on my first live stream. That would have been it. I would have been able to show my face. The grief I'd have got from you two would have been just gone away somewhere. So I'm so glad. So I've got to do. So I'm not. If I get sunk now, at least you've
put a number on the board.
Yeah, I've got some time.
You did something with it, so that's good. That's good. Well, I won't be here to put any more numbers on the board for a week, so
that's fine.
Ruff jumps back in, and I think Ruff's got more than me now. I'm kind of on the bottom now, aren't I?
Yeah, it doesn't matter though.
A couple £100, but a couple £100, but it doesn't matter. Yeah,
it's a game. We're playing for fun. We're having,
We'll try and get on tonight and roll patrol up or something. Might be
we're all teasing each other, which is what this is all about as well. Is it? We're having fun and we're all taking the rise out of each other gently, and it's good. It's good.
Right.
Normally me,
that's why the bead of sweat on your forehead.
God, you don't know how stressed I was.
Oh, I do. I know how stressed you were.
Just trying to get it right, and of course I'm getting things wrong, and people are shouting at me at the monitor, and I can't hear a thing. They're typing away, and I can't. And but it was fun, but I did enjoy it. Next time, hopefully, I'll get it a bit more together. And
slow down, enjoy it. It's fun. You're gonna just realize we all make mistakes. We're gonna make mistakes, and it is what it is.
But so you've got to think of a new game when we've all done we've all got sunk or completed. You've got to think of a new game we need to do for the challenge. That'd be good.
How about Rommel?
I still have nightmares.
Salt in the wound. Salt in the wound. Yeah.
But it is a cracking game. It is a good game. It's just we picked the hardest one, didn't we?
Yeah. Yes. Well,
Everybody-
and I only picked that one because you had did so horrible. I thought, oh, I'll do better. That was the worst thing I could have thought. I was like, I did get out of Belgium, but then I got kicked back.
1939, 1940, 1941, and 1942 were kind of the sweet spots for the U-boats.
Yeah.
When you go look at how many died in 1943, you will be amazed at how many of them got sunk in 1943.
Do I want to get the hunted? Because it's just a no-win, isn't it? No-win situation.
Here's what I had. Somebody said, well, what's the difference? The one says, do you want to die quickly? If you want to die quickly, then
get the hunted.
The hunted. Oh my God.
No. Here's the difference. You have to be much smarter to live in 1943, 1944, and 1945. You can't just go after everything like you can earlier. You have to wait for those juicy targets to show up.
And then take a chance.
Yeah. You can't just go after everything. Because when you do,
they're coming for you.
They're coming.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, you're going to, just like Tony, sooner or later. You go on patrols and you roll this every time, but sooner or later, you're going to roll that number.
I'll see you tonight, honey. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Sooner or later, that number comes up. And I think that simulates, the U-boats in general. It seemed like, every one of them, it was like, oh, they did great patrol, and then sunk. Great patrol, sunk. It's just like, they got in the wrong spot. They were spotted at the wrong time, whatever the situation was. And
aircraft come along. Crikey.
That was it. That was all there was. Well, we got to wrap up this week's show. We will have next week's show. It'll either be Saturday or Sunday. Like I said, just depends on when we get back from our trip. But we'll have another show. And this way you guys can catch me up on all the activity from the week. Don't forget tomorrow at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday at 8 p.m. No Enemies Here. Make sure you go check out his channel. He is running the Charles S. Roberts Wargaming Awards show. We have been nominated for Best Wargaming Show of the Year, which we will definitely be winning. I will not be here to accept the award. Ruff will not be able to, so Tony's going to accept our award in, 257 U-boats sunk in 1943.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Brutal. So Tony's going to have to accept our award. For all you guys out there that voted for us, we do appreciate it. And it's always nice to know that, that you guys love our stuff and appreciate us, and you're willing to put us in the awards. So, anyways, make sure you check out it. It will be on No Enemies Here, the big award show featuring us.
Yeah.
Anything else we need to cover before we?
I just want to say, if you're into Lock and Load Tactical, I think OG is doing a live stream on Twitch tomorrow. Go on to the Lock and Load Tactical or Lock and Load Publishing Facebook page. I don't have the time, but he does a play. It's great. I went on the last one. It's like you're watching how to play, and you can ask questions, and he's teaching somebody that maybe doesn't know all the rules or doesn't know how to use Tabletop Simulator. So that's happening tomorrow. Cool.
Anything else?
No, just have a good trip.
Yeah, have a great time.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys' comments about my video. It's really nice to know that, everyone so far has enjoyed it. I've got a lot of great comments from it. So
Great.
I appreciate you guys giving it the thumbs up. So that was all super nice, because I was like nervous about posting it, because I'm like, oh man, if these guys don't like it, I'm not gonna hear the end of it about Sunday.
Brilliant.
I'll be having to you know,
I would never do that to you about something along those lines. If it was a gameplay that you just totally screwed up, I'd give you crap on that one.
Well, of course, yeah, anybody would. Yeah, if it was
But
me,
you did a really, really good job with that, and being your first, that was really, really good. So
and what it was sincere, and
Yeah.
and that's what comes across. So, yeah,
Alrighty. Well, if there's nothing else, we've got to run. We had a great time. Ruff, Tony, you guys have a good week. We'll see you guys when I get back in town. I'll message you guys or email you, let you know if it's going to be Saturday or Sunday. I'm just going to pick a time. If you're available, come on out. If not, then, you know, we'll try and arrange your schedule or whatever. So everyone that came by tonight, Paul, Heathwell, Stephen, Jillian, Wardrobe, OG. Be sure to check out OG in the Lock and Load live stream, as Ruff said. And Douglas Gearhart, thank you all for coming by. We do appreciate it. Again, if you guys enjoyed our comment, you enjoyed our show, give us a thumbs up. If you go and visit somebody else's channel, you watch their video, give them a thumbs up. Tony, Ruff, 2 seconds. What do you got coming up this week on your channels?
Coin, and I'm going to try to get back to the Rock of the Marne.
next part of Crowbar, hopefully. I'm having real grief with this. So, yeah, hopefully that. And maybe, an unboxing of SPQR and maybe a live stream of Hunters.
All righty. We'll see everyone next week. Until then, have a good week.
See you later, guys.
See ya.